Hello, folks, and welcome to another show in the blink of an eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez, a.k.a. El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. Bienvenidos a otro programa de En un abrir y cerrar de ojo. Estoy aquí ahora. I'm here with Dr. Shirley Barbosa from Nature's Remedies here in McAllen, Texas. And we hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving, and we're in the middle of the holiday season. And today we're going to share with you, with the help of Dr. Barbosa, some of the advice we all need to listen to, because sometimes we have a tendency to overeat during the holidays. So we're going to talk about negative health effects of overeating during the holidays, okay, all the way from, we've gone through Thanksgiving, but we got Christmas and New Year's coming up. So Dr. Shirley, excuse me, tell us, what happens when you overeat?
When you overeat, a lot of things can change in your body, because we're not made to have to sit down and have too much, like, for example, the physiology and anatomy of a digestion. Like, when you're supposed to have three kinds of things different, and usually in holidays we mix everything.
Now, there's a lot of you gather with family, you see old friends. I mean, there's a lot of temptations there too. I'm gonna break my routine or whatever. It's difficult. I mean, we gotta admit it's difficult sometimes when, especially people come from out of town to visit you, and they get all this food and all this stuff. So again, it's not easy, but you gotta be conscious of what could happen to you.
Oh yes, like, for example, what happens when you overeat for one day? Like, your stomach will inflate and you feel uneasy. So that's because the size of the stomach is the size of your fists. So when you overeat, like, it's going to extend like a balloon, and it's not used to that if you eat regular. Then you're not going to have desire to do any activity. You can have depressive thoughts, and you feel sick and maybe vomit, or you feel overeating pain on your stomach, because the digestion takes 4 to 5 hours, depends what you eat. Wow. And usually on dinner, like Thanksgiving dinner, for example, if you ate too much, it's going to take more than 5 hours to digest, because you mix too many things, and then the body's going to take longer to digest. And this process taking longer to digest, what's going to happen, you're going to draw a lot of energy there to process this food. Your brain won't stop working. So usually you're going to eat at night, so that means that night you're not going to rest. You're not going to have a peaceful sleep. Because the brain will be busy digesting the food.
Even though you're asleep.
Even though you're asleep. You're not going to rest, and in the next day you're going to feel
tired and all drowsy. And
yes.
I've had those feelings. And so again, there's effects to your physical body. Your mental, you feel tired, you feel drowsy, there's a lot of things that could happen. And again, we're not saying, enjoy your family, enjoy the holidays, but be conscious of what you're eating. Now, you said something, a mixture, because we have the tendency to mix all kinds of different foods. One of the famous platos here is the tamales, que las empanadas, los buñuelos, hot chocolate. So when you mix all these things, it might taste good at the moment, but you could be causing some
you're going to cause indigestion. So that's mean the food, like, you cannot mix protein with carbs. They cause indigestion. By causing indigestion, you're going to cause fermentation. And by causing fermentation, you're going to cause free radicals. It's oxidation of the cells. So you're going to be very much sick because of that, because fermentations.
Well, so again, just for the audience out there, Dr. Shirley, if I know we have a mixture of different, cultures here in the valley. Díganos un poquito en español lo que pasa cuando comemos demasiado, mixteamos muchos diferentes tipos de comidas, los problemas que puede causar.
Cuando misturamos la comida, lo que va a pasar en nuestro estómago va a ser retardar para hacer la digestión. Porque tenemos el hábito de tomar líquidos con la comida, ya diluye lo jugo gástrico. Y lo otro, como es mucha comida y diferentes tipos de comida, então lo va a causar una indigestión. Ao causar uma indigestão, vai causar fermentação. E ao causar fermentação, vai criar os radicales livres de água e de grasa. Y la célula se oxida y morre.
Wow.
Este es lo que pasa.
Eso es lo que pasa.
Yes.
Y pues, una de las cosas, Dr. Shirley, que, like for me, and maybe people out there, when you travel, you know, I did a lot of traveling lately. He viajado mucho por cuestión de trabajo. When you're traveling, sometimes it's difficult to, you know, keep your routine. What would you recommend there? I mean, take some food with you, because you stop at an airport, you're in a town, a different town, a city, you know, and it's difficult. I mean, what advice could you give people who travel, especially not only during the holidays, but just traveling, you know, you break your routine of trying to eat healthy. I mean, what would you recommend? What do you do? What does Dr. Shirley do when she travels?
So like when I travel, I take some food with me, especially in the airport, like bananas or nuts or something easier that will feed me and I won't be hungry. And I take always my water. Like I buy the water there and I always take with me. So I stop at the restaurant inside the airport and try to make healthy choices. But usually on traveling, I don't overeat because you're not going to enjoy traveling because you're going to be, your brain is not going to rest. So if you eat like 3 times a day, wait 4 to 5 hours, and you're gonna enjoy your vacation. Because if you're overeating, your brain will be clogged up, and you won't think straight, and it won't be fun. You can have food poisoning.
Okay, so now I understand more about that. Well, we're here with Dr. Shirley Barbosa at Nature's Remedies in McAllen, Texas, talking about the negative health effects of overeating, especially during the holidays, all the way from Thanksgiving to New Year. So hopefully this information will help you. And don't forget that at Pueblo Tires and Service, we're there to help you keep your car in good condition in case you have plans to travel. Make sure you come by and visit us at any one of our 13 locations. We're open from Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And don't forget, we also offer financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with Dr. Shirley in the blink of an eye.
This Preventative Maintenance Minute is supported by Pueblo Tires and Service. Now we're going to talk about tire rotation tips. To get the most life from your tires and to help them wear evenly, have them rotated twice a year. This is especially important for front-wheel drive vehicles in order to preserve balance handling and help maintain traction. Mechanical issues in the vehicle may also cause uneven tire wear. Automobile manufacturers recommend tire rotation frequency and pattern. Depending on the vehicle, tire rotation may be recommended every 8,000 miles. Don't get frustrated by tire problems. Let our trained technicians at Pueblo Tires and Service perform a free 7-point inspection on your vehicle. Having your vehicle properly serviced before a trip can go a long way in keeping your family safe on the road. That's right. We have a saying around here, a well-maintained car is like money in the bank. And at Pueblo, we offer you financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right. Look us up on shampoozy.com. Dance!
Welcome back to In the Blink of an Eye with Benjamin Valdez, a.k.a. El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. By the way, we want to thank you for, we've been doing business since 1972. We're going to celebrate our 50th year anniversary. So we thank you for that, and we're gonna have some wonderful things for the community real soon. We'll be announcing that. But today I'm here with Dr. Shirley. Again, we hope you had a great Thanksgiving, a blessed Thanksgiving, that you're safe and sound. But if you have a tendency to overeat, like many of us do, especially during the holidays, that's what we're talking about. And Dr. Shirley has given us some really good advice of negative health effects of overeating during the holidays, okay? And we've covered from Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's, okay? So we've talked a little bit about what happens when you overeat in one day. What are the physical effects of overeating? What are the side effects of overeating? So again, what are the common health risks of holidays overeating? We've touched a little bit about that. Dr. Shirley, continue to give us some insights into how we can avoid maybe even going to the doctor or to the hospital, because I was at the hospital once a few years ago, and one of the nurses told me there, and it was during the holidays. Just a lot of the patients that are coming in, because simply they're just overeating.
Yes, overeating. Well, the first thing, like the side effects of overeating, could be weight gain. You're gonna gain from 1 pound to 3 pounds just for the holidays by overeating. Yeah. You're gonna disrupt the hunger regulation, so the body's not gonna tell you when you had enough food, especially if you eat too fast, because the brain takes 20 minutes to let you know that you had enough food.
Wait a minute. Okay, say that again. The brain takes 20 minutes
to tell you,
hey, you had enough food.
Yeah, but you have to eat it slowly and digest, like masticate 31 times. If you do too fast, the brain won't capture that.
So the brain doesn't keep up with the stomach?
You know.
When you're eating?
You have to eat quickly. I'm sorry. It's slow.
Okay, what about that saying that in Spanish? Dice, panza llena, ¿cómo dice panza llena, corazón contento?
Sí, no está, lo dicho no habla para comer demasiado.
Okay, all right, so that's very interesting. The brain takes 20 minutes to alert you, hey, that's enough food.
Yes.
So if you're eating too fast,
skip that.
The brain's not telling, hey, slow down.
Yeah, slow down, because they have to process the hormones too, the hunger hormone, to say that you have enough to stop.
All right, what else?
You have to eat slow.
All right.
And masticate 31 times, and the liquid should be 30 minutes before or 2 hours after.
Right. Okay.
And you increase the risk of disease, like have a gastritis, ulcer, because what we explained before, the undigestion process, the oxidation, and all this process that we told you before. And people can have nausea, indigestion, heartburn, impaired brain function, because the brain is not resting, because it's busy with the stomach all the time. Because if you're overeating, instead of 5 to 6 hours digestion, 4 would be 9 hours or more. So the brain won't rest.
So this is why a lot of people wind up in the ER.
Yes. Well, talking about the ER, the most common holiday ER visits will be like overeaters. During the holidays, they are 10 times more likely to visit the ER. And could be allergic reactions, because they eat something that they have allergy and they didn't know, like nuts, and they can go into anaphylactic shock. So that needs a ER attention. And then they can have food poisoning, because if they stay on the house for 2 or 3 days, usually the food is over the count, and some food can get the bacteria, so they can get food poison. It's very common visit by food poison during the holidays. And then if they overeat, they can develop severe abdominal pain, or chest pain, or shorter breath.
Just by overeating.
Just by overeating. And then there is a common syndrome, it's called holiday heart syndrome. So because they overeat, so there is some reflexes on your body, they overstimulate, and then that causes arrhythmia. So they can, like the heart will go fast, irritation of the vagus nerve.
Is that something? What's it? GERDs?
No, this is not GERD. This is goes into atrial fibrillation. So the heart is beating too fast.
Okay.
Usually it's irritation of the nerve, and but this is a very common syndrome during the holidays. Overeating, indulging. It's called holiday heart syndrome, and they go into tachycardia, and from tachycardia, if it's not taken care, atrial fibrillation, and they can die.
But so again, if you feel you've gone through this, or you're again we want to celebrate. Of course, we want to be with our families, enjoy the seasons, but we got to be careful. Like Dr. Shirley's saying to us, we got to be extremely careful what we eat, how much we eat, when we eat. Even the drinking part of it, can cause a lot of problems. So we're talking with Dr. Shirley Barbosa here at Nature's Remedies in McAllen, Texas. Doctor, what is the phone number here where somebody could reach you?
956-631-1664.
Okay, and you have a website as well.
Yes, www.naturesremediescenter.com.
And you're open here for what, Monday through Friday?
Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 6 p.m.
Okay, so there you go. Anything related to health, Dr. Shirley can give you some advice, and she's given me a lot of sound advice. Now, I'm not saying I've followed it 100%. I've learned my lessons at times, especially when I learned about mixing certain foods you shouldn't mix, or protein with, what do you call it?
Carbohydrates,
with
sugar,
yes, right. So,
dairy.
But if you follow these steps, and your body can do wonderful things, but you gotta provide the body what it needs. Sometimes we just eat because it tastes good, it looks good, it smells good, but it's not necessarily good for us.
Yes.
And of course, overindulging is not good. And here again, the holidays are upon us. Be careful. It's like a vehicle. If your car takes gasoline and you put diesel in it, it's gonna mess up your engine. And it's happened before. Some people sometimes put diesel into their car where they shouldn't, or gasoline into a diesel. So all those mixtures can mess up your engine. Same thing with our bodies. Our bodies are wonderfully made, but we need to give the body what it needs. And also rest is another very important factor. And during the holidays, Dr. Shirley, we tend to be in a hurry. I know everybody, even in business, we're closing out the year. So many things to prepare for the next year. So all these factors, we have to be very careful to not overindulge and not, be, how should I say, not get distracted or disoriented in our lifestyle, because nobody wants to get sick. We don't want to feel bad. Unfortunately, we're all going to get sick one day or another, but if we follow some of this advice Dr. Shirley has given us today, you're going to be in much better health. You're going to enjoy your time with your family. Dr. Shirley, thank you for what you're sharing with us. Now, there's another word that's out there that is commonly used, and I've heard, fasting. What do you recommend there? I mean, again, when we fast, should you recommend fasting during the holidays? I know it's maybe some people fast, forget that. I want to eat.
Yes, I don't recommend fasting before the holidays because you're going to put your body in the starving mode. But after the holidays, you can do some fasting to clean up your body quickly from all the mix that you have done, from the toxins. Yes. Okay,
hold on to that thought because, I said, well, you fasting during the holidays? No, but hold on to that thought. We'll be right back in the blink of an eye.
But eat health and control your portions.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about fasting a little bit.
This preventative maintenance minute is supported by Pueblo Tires and Service. Keeping your engine cool is a critical job. Without it, the engine melts into a solid block. It helps keep the water pump, radiator, hoses, and liquid coolant working to protect your engine from excess heat. Coolant exchange makes sure your coolant can do its job, keeping the engine cool. It also gets rid of any acid that builds up in the coolant, keeps the engine from locking up or boiling over, and helps prevent corrosion. Fresh coolant has chemicals to help slow any rust or corrosion, so your radiator will live longer too. Let our trained technicians at Pueblo Tires and Service clean your system of old, tired, dirty coolant and refill it with the correct new coolant for your car or truck. And at Pueblo, we offer you financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right. Look us up on shampoozy.com. Dance!
And welcome back to In the Blink of an Eye with Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service. And it's our pleasure to provide you with this information. With this program, we've done it. This is our third year, and we hope that the information we're sharing with you today, and it's our way to give back to the community. We want you to know that we're more than just a tire shop. And we do interviews like this. Today, Dr. Shirley graciously agreed to share some of this information and knowledge of how we can avoid negative effects, from overeating or not eating the right things and so forth. There are negative health effects that can cause problems to our body. Everything that we do can be positive or negative. And she's been sharing with us today about overeating, physical effects, side effects, and so forth. We were talking before the break, Dr. Shirley, about fasting. And when I heard the word fasting, I said, you mean recommend fasting during the holidays? She said, no. After the holidays. But walk us through a little process of that, how people like myself can understand it better about and also maybe the benefits benefits of fasting?
Well, the fasting is recommended after the holidays because you intoxicate yourself. Some people drink alcohol, some people mix the foods, causing indigestion, so the body needs to, and the brain is overtaxed because it works many hours to digest all these foods. Because from Thanksgiving to New Year's is 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and it's too many family reunions to visit, and friends and dinners and
Oh yeah, and then there's all kinds of goodies out there. They bring them to the office. Oh, here's some goodies for you. Here's some. I know.
So the good thing that they can have, like they can start the day with a good breakfast, a light lunch, and then they have a little bit room more to eat dinner, but try not to have a late supper. Like 9 o'clock is too late, but between 6 and 7 is fine.
Right.
And when you arrive there, never arrive hungry. Like make sure you're not hungry, because if you're hungry, you're going to overeat. And try to make healthy choices first at where you at for dinner. And remember portion control, because even if you choose healthy choices but overload your plate, it's indulging yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much we could talk about. I mean, you're sharing, some tips to avoid overeating during the holidays. Some combinations that are not good for you also during the holidays. There's a tendency sometimes to, make different combinations, and they look good and they probably taste good, but again, it could be harmful to your health. So these are some of the things we need to avoid. And you gave us a phone number and a website. If you have any questions, they can call you and come. If they got any tips you can offer through the phone, and she'll gladly do it. But again, we're talking about negative health effects of overeating during the holidays from Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's. And now that could apply to a lot of us throughout the whole year. I mean. Oh,
yes. Like, for example, you're talking about a bad combination. For example, if you combine alcohol and fatty desserts, you're going to have oversection. And then if exhaustion, you're going to cause, but when you have late nights, little sleep and poor diet, because usually on those holidays, you sleep too late and you have a poor choice diet.
Right.
Because you mix things you're not supposed to and you overeat. So this, and also you can be sleeping, causes sleepiness. Like, for example, if you bad combination like protein and starches or sugar, 30 minutes after your meal, you're gonna fall asleep because it's gonna cause indigestion, fermentation, free radicals. So you're gonna be drowsy.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's what they call the siesta.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to combine right. If you want to enjoy after dinner talking to your friends and family, to stay awake, you need to eat, combine correctly the food.
Yeah, we're brought up in our culture, hey, comamos, we eat, hey, ahora una siestecita. But it's not because it's not a natural thing.
No, it's because you had protein with carbs or sugar. You had a bad combination. That's why.
So, again, thankfully, thank God that, again, our bodies can recover, but it takes us sometimes an effort, and sometimes, unfortunately, you have to go to the doctor, or worse, the ER.
Oh, yes. Those are the most common visits to the ER, and does happen every year during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
So tell us in a nutshell, if we don't follow this advice and we overeat and we overindulge, I mean, how to recover? I mean, we always say, well, se me va a pasar, pero it's better to avoid than to have to recover.
Yes, if they come to that point that they feel all these side effects of the overeating, I can recommend, after eating, to take digestive enzymes.
Take some what now? Okay?
Digestive enzymes.
Okay.
Digestive enzymes. So 2 capsules after meal would help. Papaya, pineapple. Pineapple has enzymes. Papaya has enzymes. Or they can buy digestive enzymes in capsule. Take after meals will help them counteract a little bit the side effects. Okay. And then when past that day, they can start going back to the routine, like eating on time. They can do the fasting.
Right.
Give it 2 or 3 days break by do juicing fasting.
Okay.
And then give a break, and they can do liver gallbladder flush to take all the toxins out. So all these will help clear up.
Now, some people are probably saying, what's a liver flush and all that? Well, I recommend if you have some of these questions or going through some similar situations, come see Dr. Shirley. I learned how to do a liver flush, and I've done it. And you do feel like you feel lighter. You feel, it's like your car. We do an oil change. We do an additive filter change. Everything that the car has, pretty much we have. Lungs, kidneys, liver, they're all filters. And they can get clogged up. They can get, damaged or misused because of what we're overeating. So do you have any questions in regards to that? Visit Dr. Shirley Barbosa here at Nature's Remedies in McAllen, Texas. What's the address here, doctor?
It's 508 North 10th Street, Suite C10, McAllen, Texas.
There you go. So, folks, we're going to take another little break, and then we'll be back in the blink of an eye.
¿Qué? ¿Pueblo Tires ahora está ofreciendo tienda de llantas móviles? Así es, y lo mejor es que venimos a ti. Shampoozy, zapatea la mula que baile. Shampoozy.com.
Welcome back, folks. Well, we're wrapping up our interview with Dr. Shirley Barbosa here at Nature's Remedies in McAllen, and we've talked about negative health effects of overeating during the holidays. So, Dr. Barbosa, summarize for us, what advice can you give us?
Yes. For them not to arrive hungry at the party or the dinner, to eat health choices first. Remember portion control. Eat slowly. It takes 20 minutes for the brain to realize you are full. Make room for a physical activity like walk, and take digestive enzyme, or eat papaya or pineapple. It will have enzymes to help digestion.
Okay, I got a question. Is it good after you eat to go for a little walk?
Yes.
That's good.
Adds digestion.
Okay.
Helps with digestion.
I mean, a brisk walk. You
you can walk with a family member or friends.
Okay.
Just to go walk after a meal is very good.
All right. Continue, doctor.
And so if you follow these tips, you will avoid food hangover.
Yeah.
And then it'll be easier after the holidays. You won't be so tired.
Doctor, again, in a short few minutes, I know there's a lot more we could say, but for the few minutes that we've talked, we thank you so much for sharing. And again, our bodies, your health is so important. If you lose your health, you can't go to work, you can't provide for your family. So again, try to follow some of this advice that you heard today. And if you have any questions, call Dr. Shirley. Give us the phone number again, doctor.
956-631-1664.
There you go. Dr. Shirley Barbosa here at Nature's Remedies in McAllen, Texas. And we hope that you enjoy the holidays with your family, but enjoy it in such a manner that you don't overstress your body, your digestive system, and so forth. I know it's not easy. I understand that, but it is possible. First of all, with the grace of God and following advice from people like Dr. Shirley who have trained when it comes to body and some of the effects, just eating. I mean, we all like to eat. I mean, we need to eat, but, there's a right and a wrong way, and there's always effects. And again, as far as your car goes, we're there to serve the community. We thank you for allowing us 49 years, going on 50 years. We thank God and we thank you. And we pray that God will keep you safe. But do your part. We all need to do our parts to be healthier, be more happy, and enjoy life. And while God allows us to live, may you enjoy it and the full benefits of life itself. Dr. Shirley, again, thank you for having us.
Welcome.
And thank you for sharing with us. And folks, on a final note, just want to remind you that be safe out there, when it comes to your lifestyle. I think the number one killer is lifestyle.
Like overeating.
Overdrinking, overindulging. So again, be careful out there, and don't forget that nobody loves you and appreciates you more than Pueblo Tires and Service and Dr. Shirley Barbosa. Nobody.